Genevieve, I've got a hot burning letter. A person online needs some help. So you and I are going to share this letter together. This is the first time we've both read it. And let's pick this person's journey apart and try and offer them some support. Okay?
Okay.
There we go.
I'm a little bit nervous about this.
Dun, dun.
Let's do this. Go on.
Yeah, let's just see who needs our help. Let's dive right in. So the letter is from somebody online, and they start with, I am a 32-year-old male who is 5 feet 6 inches tall and roughly 125 pounds. Throughout my life and currently, I face depression, anxiety, and lack of self-confidence due to being rejected continuously for something that I do not have control over and my size. Okay, push pause. Hang on. What am I reading? What's going on? I know. Oh my goodness gracious. Well, first of all, thank you for asking for help.
Was there any more before?
Oh, there's more. There's more.
Oh my God. Okay.
But before we go, I just want to say thank you to whoever you are for just being so vulnerable. I have had relationships in the past. Most were just flings. 2 were serious ones, which ended because I basically settled for someone who would accept me at the time instead of it being someone that I'm compatible with.
That's so common. You're not alone. So don't think this is anything to do with your size or anything else. It's purely that happens daily. So
right.
That's just an everyday occurrence. We've all done it.
We've all done it. Exactly.
Yeah.
No matter the situation, we've all thought, you know what? I'm just going to stop here and stop this whole crazy train of dating because I just, I'm deflated and done. He goes on to say, as I get older, I realize that I don't want to be alone for the rest of my life. Good for you. I do have standards for women that I would like to talk to, which I often do not adhere to due to the fact that it is very difficult to date at my height at all. I don't consider myself a bum. I'm ex-military, college degree, small business owner, dress nice, good hygiene, yet I still get constantly rejected. Before I continue, I don't think that I'm some god of women who doesn't deserve to have the right to be rejected. Okay, good. I know it's going to happen. Believe me. I just fear that my standards may be too high as I want someone who takes care of themselves, is goal-oriented, educated, and doesn't want to just lay around the house on the phone while the guy pays for everything and does all of the work, which is how my last relationship went. I could do everything that I expect out of a partner as well. To combat my self-esteem issues, I've gone to the gym to try and gain some weight. It's going on to about 3 months now. I guess my question is, how do I go about finding quality women who may be interested in shorter guys? It seems like the only qualification to date a nice woman is literally just to be tall and nothing else. Welcome to the day in the life of a matchmaker.
Well, yeah. Well, let's look at average sizes of people in the States. We've got the stats.
Exactly. We know.
Average woman is 5'2" to 5'3". So being a 5'6" male, you've got a lot of women to go through.
That's exactly right. I love that. So he finally states, I no longer want to settle for someone I'm not really attracted to just to avoid being lonely or just because I don't want to wait any longer. I really want a quality partner. Any suggestions or advice will help. Thanks in advance.
Give us a call.
Please. And see.
The matchmaking company is waiting for you. We'd be happy to help.
Absolutely.
Oh, bless him. Well, I think there's a couple of things here, and I don't know what you think, Heather, but first and foremost, I don't think his expectations are unrealistic. What he's looking for, he's giving of himself. He's not aiming above him or below him. He wants an equal in life, and there's nothing wrong in that. And in fact, he's more likely to have a more sustainable, engaged, long-term loving relationship by wanting to meet someone who's on an equal level in all the areas of compatibility that we know work in a relationship. So I think he's not unrealistic there. I think one of the things that perhaps he's setting himself up to fail is he thinks that no one's out there.
Right.
It's almost like he's given up by writing this letter. He's given up on some level, which it's not the case. Right. Let's look at the facts. Let's look at the facts. When we were looking, we look at this all the time, don't we? When we look at height, because we have people that come to us of all heights, all shapes, all sizes.
Right.
And I think the average height of a male was about 5'8" to 5'9". So he's just slightly below average. He's not minuscule. He's not tiny. He's just below the average height of a male. But then when we look at the average height of a female, it's 5'2" to 5'3". So there's a good 3 inches or 4 inches between him and a new lady friend that he wants to make.
Right.
So I think he just needs to say that he's looking for someone petite. He doesn't need to say his height. And I think a lot of men get really hung up on height, and women get hung up on height. How many times do we have women who are 5'2" say to us, I need a man who's 6 foot? It's my biggest bugbear, as you know, because why? What do you need it for? It's really not necessary. And actually, I think it was less than 2% of men are over 6 foot.
Right. It's a very small pool.
It's a very small pool. So you're narrowing your options down when you become heightist.
Right. Right.
You really do. People say, oh, people are sizist, and they're also heightist. Men are sizist and women are heightist.
Right.
And it's something we battle with every day, is realigning expectations. You could be sitting next to someone on the train. You could be sitting in a bar. Someone sits opposite you. You have a great engaging conversation, and you're not going to get your measuring stick out and pretend you're Mary Poppins and say, uh-oh, you're an inch too short. I've loved talking to you for the last 2 hours, but it's not going to happen. Never going to talk to you again.
Never going to work. Exactly.
Once you're in a relationship, height never comes into it. Right. I think we're in this commodity mindset that we feel that we should have all of these things that we look for on our checklist, but actually that checklist is only there to hinder us. It's not there to help us. So let's be realistic. What would you rather have? Someone who's an inch or two shorter, but is an engaging, intelligent, communicative, loving person, or would you rather be with someone who's not that nice, not that engaged, but 6 foot? Wow.
He's super tall. So I love that too, because if we look at, so as matchmakers, you're exactly right. When we start working with a lot of females, the qualifier right away is, I want to be able to wear my heels. I need a man that's tall. And then when we challenge or ask these thought-provoking questions as coaches, and we say, why? Why? What does height bring to you? What does height mean?
Heels are far more comfortable than great big 6-inch heels. Hello, you're just going to have, after a few drinks, you're going to end up in hospital.
You don't need broken legs and feet and, ankles here. But I think too, you're right that it's all about the quality of women that you're exposing yourself to, because if height is the number one qualifier, they're not looking at a long-term connective relationship and have the understanding about what's most important. So I think that you're right about, I know we're being funny here, but having a matchmaker in your back pocket allows you to surround yourself and qualify people that are really looking for meaningful connections. And then the next thing, I think that the very first subject line of this letter, Genevieve, is, do I have a shot at a real relationship?
Oh my God, yes, 300%. Yes.
What do we do to get this guy to stand on his soapbox and ask, instead, do I have a shot at a real relationship? Be able to say, I am ready and am excited about a real relationship. How do we get this guy overcoming this narrative in his head and actually just be confident about who he is? Because women are very attracted to that.
Well, it's all about confidence.
Yes.
And it's about confidence. It's about kindness.
Yeah.
Women are looking for very different things in a long-term partner than a short-term fling.
Yes.
So long-term partner, the qualities women are looking for, this guy sounds like he has them in abundance. He really does. And I'm serious about call us, because I know that we would have a bucket load of women who would want to meet this guy. Yes. Because these men that are kind, that are engaged, that are invested in having a real relationship and are not frightened and are vulnerable enough to go out there and say it, my God, they're gold dust. We know that. Yeah. And just having that attitude means he's going to win with this eventually. Absolutely. He really is. And I don't think he should just settle for anybody. He needs to settle for someone who's going to love him and appreciate him for what he brings to the table and who he is. Right. And who's aligned with him when it comes to what his long-term goals are. So I'm excited for this guy. I really am. But me too. He's got to believe it himself. He's got to believe in him, and he's got to believe in what he brings to the table is very valuable. Right. It really is.
And I wonder too, I'm going to give him homework. I'm going to say that write down on a piece of paper something other than I'm 5'6". Do I have a shot at real love? And think about and identify the top 5 traits that are amazing about you. Yeah. It's not height. Scratch that puppy out and start anew and fall in love with the things that make you unique. What did we just did a video on, what makes somebody attractive. And wasn't it sense of humor that studies had found?
Humor is the number one thing and actually it's the number one thing. I've done a lot of interviews with couples who've been together 40, 50, 60 years. And it's lovely when you're interviewing people from, who've been together for such a long time. And I always ask the same question: what's the number one quality that has sustained your relationship for the whole of your relationship? What's that number one? And
what's the secret?
They don't say passion. They don't say sex. They don't say his height or her size. It's not come up. It's never even come up. Right. The number one thing is humor. And the second thing is unconditional love. Right. We just love each other unconditionally. So it's just
we accept each other. Yes.
I'm with my best friend. And at the end of the day, if you can say you're marrying your best friend, you've got your cheerleader in your corner and you're a team, that to me is far more important than someone's height, someone's size, someone's job, someone's car they drive. I call it the superficial ladder. The only one way off a superficial ladder is you fall off it. The higher the rungs you put yourself on, the further you fall. Right. Keep it simple. Look for someone who's going to be your best friend. That's all you need to find. Find your best friend that through good times, bad times, and in different times and everything else that we go through in life. You've got someone that you get on with, you're happy to wake up with, you're happy to go to bed with, and you're happy to face life's challenges with. Right. That's what it's all about. It's not about height. It really isn't about height.
It's not about height.
It really isn't. And if a woman can tell the difference between a man who's 5'6", 5'7", or 5'8", I'd like to meet her, because they can't. Women really can't. So I think he needs to stop tricking himself that every woman's going to look at him and think, oh, heck, he's 5'6". I can't date him. She's going to let her be drawn in by your personality. Absolutely. You've got to lead with who you are, not your height.
Absolutely. I read a quote the other day, and I'm literally going to put this on my wall at work at the office, is love and a healthy relationship is friendship on fire.
Yes.
Right. And that, you're right. You just painted it. Oh, doesn't that feel so good? You just painted it exactly that, looking at people that have been long-term relationships that are happy. They're not saying, well, man, the thing that helped through all of these events in our lives was his height. No. So I think that is so wonderful. I completely agree that we just mutually, and Genevieve, between you and I, what do we have? 50 years of experience combined. We're giving you hope, Mr. 32-year-old, 5'6" male. Do I have a shot at real love? Genevieve, together with me, 1, 2, 3. Yes, you do.
Absolutely. And let us know. I'd love to know. And if you want our help, just we're here.
We would love to help. We love to help. Absolutely. And we love these questions. We love giving, real life experiences, real life questions. Be vulnerable. Ask the hard stuff. We love complex questions as well, Genevieve and I.
Oh, we do. We unpick them. I was a little bit worried where you were going with this one. So
kept you on your toes. Breathe. Yeah. But we hope you had found this special, or, very, very educational as well out there. Any single,
Heather.
It was super special. I know.
I didn't need this in the end. So we pulled it back. We pulled it back.
We did it. Exactly. So anybody out there have questions, send them in. We'd love to help support you. And if you're interested in our matchmaking services, please just reach out and find out more. We don't bite. You can find us at matchmakingcompany.com. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you have a friend that's a 5'6" male that you want to share this with, please send it along. We love to educate and support singles through this very, very intimate journey, intimate process and journey of dating. And of course, subscribe, follow us for more content. Thank you so much, Genevieve.
Thank you, Heather. It's always
we'll do this again soon.
Bye. Definitely. Bye.